Hello guys, let me introduce Joseph from awesome startup Hoversurf. Joseph, can you please tell our audience about your awesome device?
Yeah, thank you. So HoverSurf is the creators of the hover bike. That's what we're most known for. But we're mainly a technology company. So what we do is we patent technology, we test it, and then we create some amazing vehicle to put it on. So the hover bike, the reason we built that was to showcase several of our patents and prove to the world that what we've created. And now we're moving into a new, larger market.
So you have actual device which I just seen 5 minutes ago, and can you please describe the system being used for it creating and who are those awesome engineers who build it?
Definitely. So our original team's out of Moscow, so that's where half our engineers are. Then we've got a team here in the Bay Area. So what we've done is we took original like drone technology and we created a system where someone could actually sit on that vehicle and fly it. So you can actually sit on our vehicle and fly. You can fly it remotely with a remote control like a drone, or you can actually send it autonomously somewhere. And so what we've done in the last couple of years is take all this new technology and we've actually created a lot of our own. So the flight computer, a lot of the systems and the design are our own. And we've put that all together into a system that now you can actually fly your own vehicle around.
Do I need a pilot license for flying on such device?
So the cool thing about the hoverbike is you do not. In the United States, it's FAA approved as an ultralight aircraft, but there are some restrictions to that. So you have to know where to fly, how to fly, and we don't just sell it to anyone. Right now, we only sell to small use cases like special forces, search and rescue, things that are going to help someone in a very quick manner, rather than just start selling hundreds of hoverbikes around the world.
What's your plan about expansion? Do you guys going to sell them on a free market or maybe some special orders from service systems or something like that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So to start, we're actually going to only sell specific, like maybe a handful of units each year to private parties. Like the Dubai police officers are a client of ours. Yeah, pretty exciting of that. But where our goal is not to build like 100 hover bikes and sell it. We do so much iteration and prototyping that every 6 months to a year we have a new product. So the hover bike that's in Dubai, we actually have a new one. The one you've seen here, there's actually a newer one to that. And we've started building a two-person flying car. And so that'll be a much bigger market. And our plan is, again, not to sell hundreds of bikes, sell a few here and there as we develop, but also to license the technology. So all the technology that we build in our hover bike and our flying car is for the industry. So if you're building your own device and you want to use our technology, you can. There's a new market called urban air mobility. I don't know if you've heard of it, but essentially air taxis. So there's a lot of cities like San Francisco, LA, and around the world who want to take you from point A to point B, 15-minute flight, but would maybe save you an hour in traffic. And so our technology can be put into those vehicles to make the vehicle smaller, safer, more efficient.
How about the rules and regulations of such services as a hover taxi?
Yeah, that's a really good question. That's the most difficult part right now is in the last couple of years we've had this new market come out of nowhere. And 2 years ago no one was really even speaking about it publicly. And out of nowhere the FAA is like, "Oh wow, we need to take a step back and we need to see how can we do this safe because it's like a electric helicopter pretty much. And so how can we safely take people from point A to point B over traffic, over buildings, and reduce the risk as much as possible? So the FAA and a lot of companies like ourselves and other organizations like cities of LA and things like that are working very closely to see what's the right way to do this. Let's not rush it. Let's do it right. Let's put a set of standards out there. And the really neat thing about all the companies in this space, including ourselves, is we're working very closely with them. So we want a very safe vehicle. We don't want to just put a vehicle out there as fast as we can and have something happen. So no one's really rushing to do this. We're all trying to do it the right way and come to an agreement on how to do that.
Thank you for the answer. The device looks costly, and my question is: are you guys self-funded, or what investment stage are you?
Yeah, so to date we are not self-funded, but we've been privately funded. So we've got a handful of investors who kind of see the vision. About 90% of investors won't really fall into our category because we're not looking to sell product in the next couple of years. What we're doing is we're looking 5, 10, 15 years ahead in the future. And so we're developing technology now that people can start using in the future. Right now we're doing some seed raising. So any investors interested in investing into a company that's doing the technology for flying cars, flying vehicles, can invest in the company now, accredited investors. And then in the next month or two, we're actually going to go crowdfunding live on a website.
Sounds fantastic. How many of you currently work on project?
So there's about 15 of us. That's including engineers, executive staff. We've got a very strong advisor team here from the Bay Area who have expertise in starting companies and selling them. Our founders actually sold one company in the aviation industry. So it's a small team, but it's a very hardworking team, and we all believe in the same vision that we want to give everybody the possibility to fly their own vehicle. So maybe one day you can have your own motorcycle.
I wish. Yeah. My next question is, what is the best city or country for production such devices?
So that's a pretty tough question, because what's going on in this space is urban air mobility or public transportation through flight. It's something very difficult because everyone wants it electric, and that means you have to have very large batteries that are heavy. You need materials that are very light, like carbon fiber. And to date, there's never been a revolution that has been able to create lightweight composite materials at this pace. So there's a lot of different pieces that we're pulling from all around the world to make it happen here. So right now we build everything in-house, but with some partners. For long-term growth, it's a very tough question. I mean, I don't think we know right now where the best area is for it. I think it's going to be the same thing, maybe one location, but parts are going to be brought in from different areas of the world, because each area in the world has different specialties. Like Czech Republic, they're very good at motors and batteries and things like that. So that's where ours come from. Italy's very good at carbon fiber custom work. That's where that comes from. Russia is very good at engineers and design. So we've had to find teams and find companies who we can work with to create a very high standard vehicle, especially when you're carrying people.
Understood. Thank you. What is the approximate price for such vehicle?
So that's something we're working on right now. The most recent hover bike, the most famous one, which we call the S3 2019, which many people have seen online for the Dubai police hover bike, that one runs around $180,000. And then on top of that, you need to pay for a training course. So we want to make sure that if you can afford to buy the vehicle, you know where to use it, how to use it, and you have to be approved by us. We don't want to just start putting hover bikes out in the world. As far as the two-seater flying car, we don't really have numbers on that. It's still being produced right now. And so until it's done, until we finalize a lot of details, we can't just put a number on it yet, but it will be pricey.
Sure, absolutely. So, as I understood, you are good in engineering and in building such great product, but you mentioned that those guys who will pilot such device have to have some kind of training or knowledge. Do you guys provider for such knowledge?
Correct. So for the hover bike, it's a different training process than the flying car. So the hover bike, because it falls into ultralight aircraft, again, it does not need a pilot's license. But the problem with that is it's just so easily accessible. And for a device that's brand new and not many people know how to use it, we do require a training course, which is several days long. You need to know how it works, where you can fly it, how to fly it, and you need to train it. And we need to feel very safe that after we're done, that you are the right person to have a vehicle like this. For the flying car, it's a completely different world. So you need to be a pilot. We'll have to go through a special experimental training process first. And then again, once we get past that stage, we'll have to learn kind of what the next steps are for the right people. But most likely for the flying car, you'll have to be a pilot to be able to fly it.
Understood. Thank you. I see you have a lot of stuff on your plate that need to be done, but you did absolutely brilliant eye-catching product, and I wish you good luck in promotion it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's nice meeting you.